Okay, if
What?
dude, okay. I've been making music my entire life. And you kind of have this ability
Great day to play. Great day to play.
It's a great day to play, everybody. Welcome on into the channel. I thought you were gonna do like a throat singing thing.
It was supposed to be really low bass, like, yeah.
It didn't come across as really low bass.
Oh.
It kind of sounded like a fart.
Out of my face? A
face
face fart?
Yeah.
All right, well.
Well, it's the first time here you were joining us. Thank you for being here with us today. You're loved, appreciated, always welcome here in this channel, and you are
Enough.
All right, so people have been asking for a very, very long time that we react to Lea Salonga, who is, she was the voice of Mulan.
Cool.
I believe she was the voice of Jasmine.
Cool.
So like she's done a lot of stuff, but I've sang some Miss Saigon stuff on stream, and she was in the original Miss Saigon. So people are like, oh, you should go back and do her
audition.
Her audition.
Okay.
Which, crazy enough, I mean, this has to be even older than that, but I think, look at this video 17 years ago.
Yeah, that's an old video.
I don't know that I've seen a video that like most of these like 15. This is like the beginning of YouTube, like the beginning of YouTube.
I wonder what the first video was. Just a duck? You know? Remember YouTube back then, man?
Dude, YouTube was wild. Everything was wild back then.
Yeah, it was a wild west.
But so this is her audition for Miss Saigon. So we're gonna watch that today and see.
All right, well, let's see.
So, all right, are we ready? Are you ready? If you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the notification. See what I did there? Are you ready? Am I ready? If you haven't already, see, it was a.
Oh, it was a rhyme.
If you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow along with our journey. Check out our live stream Saturdays, noon Central Time. You can check out our brand new single, My Light, that's out now on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon, and all the other places that music exists. But without further ado, let's.
Hello.
Hello. Before we start, I want to ask a favor of you, please.
What?
Could you autograph this for me?
It's photo. Oh, right.
That's so cool.
That is pretty cool. And now
She's young. Nowadays, they probably wouldn't even do that.
No.
But that's so cool.
Look at that boombox, dude.
This looks like it's 70s, 80s?
Who is very talented.
I mean, she was the voice of Jasmine?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it was forever ago.
Yeah.
Let me teach you the first song. This one. It's a
The
duet.
singing voice, at least. I don't know about the
When you
acting
sing
voice, but the singing voice.
part, it's Chris, and you would be Kim.
Okay.
All right? Okay. So I start. I sing the first.
Okay.
You are sunlight and I alone, joined by the gods of fortune, midnight and I alone, sharing the sky. We have.
The audio quality in this is actually surprisingly good for what this was probably recorded on.
Yeah.
Right, so you do it.
Okay, if
What?
dude, okay. I've been making music my entire life. And you kind of have this ability sort of for the most part, but like the fact that he was like, okay, this is how it goes. Something or something with the
Yeah.
And then she's just like, she's kind of like watching and looking, and then all of a sudden she's like, okay, well, here we go.
Yeah, we had to, I mean, like, sight reading was part of, like, the training that I went through, though. Like, I'm not as good as it anymore. Like, I used to be able to, like, pick up a piece of sheet music, and if you gave me a starting key for the most part, I could make it through, like, 80% of the music
Singing,
without ever
I could never do it.
without ever hearing it before. But if, like, you would sing it to me once and I would have music in front of me, For the most part, but again, it's all different training, right? Like if that's what you're used to and that's what you do, like especially with musical theater backgrounds and stuff, that's a lot of what we do when you're working on the beginning of sets and stuff like that. Most of the time, the first thing that we would do is we'd go through, like after your auditions and everything were done, you'd literally the first day would generally be like they would hand out all the scripts and they'd hand out all the music, and you would just do a blind read through.
Okay.
A completely blind read through, including the songs. So like you'd have a pianist there and maybe a drummer or something like that, but you would do like just a complete blind read through and just go, just to get like a feeling for the pace and the tempo and stuff like that. And you just get you get pretty used to it.
Vocally, like I can sight read drum parts for sure.
Yeah.
And then some guitar and some other things. Like I know what it sounds like, but for some reason words in my mind don't go together. Like yesterday when we were on the phone, I tried to say, like, anytime there's even the slightest bit of like pressure or anything, my words decide to just turn up their back on me. So like that's what makes me kind of like in awe about it. Because I my ability and the way that my words work do not work like that.
Yeah. No, it's a cool talent. This just brings me back because this is the kind of stuff that I used to do. So it just kind of brings me back.
Very cool.
You are sunlight and I moon.
Once again.
You are sunlight and I moon, joined by the gods of fortune.
Joined by the gods of fortune. Simple. And by the gods of fortune.
You are sunlight and I moon, joined by the gods of fortune, midnight and high noon, sharing the sky. We have been blessed, you and I.
Wow.
You are sunlight and I moon, joined here, brightening the sky with the flame of love.
Jeez.
Made of sunlight,
Wow.
Dude.
I love how like the guys that were like doing like at first when they were like, and then like they get done, they're like, okay,
Because
she's the one.
They're casting people.
Yeah.
They're
They
the
hear it all
worst.
day long.
They're the worst.
Wow, dude. And she's so young here.
So I saw I got into this really weird thing about her and the guy who sang for Aladdin.
Yeah.
And I watched like every morning show that they went on and did it.
Yeah.
Because they're older now and they're trying and they're just doing those tours every once in a while.
Yeah.
And it's like her voice is still it's the same voice. Like she's I don't know how old she is, but she's probably either in her 30s or 40s or something
She's
like
gotta
that.
be older than, I mean, Aladdin came out in
97.
90. Yeah, it was in the mid 90s. It's 30 years ago. So if she was probably 20-ish back then, she's got to be almost 50, I think now.
But her, like his voice has changed.
Yeah.
It's not as boyish, you know.
Yeah.
But her voice has not changed. It's like it's still just like that. Just like just her ability to do that. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, it's one of the. It's interesting because they don't always translate well, and it is hard to sometimes to kick some of the habits. But like live stage singers that do like the musical theater type, I think that people forget that like when you do those, there's not any assistance. Like when we do it, you're not getting any type of like auto tune. It's not like other live shows where you have some of those things. Like the things that some of them can do live and how pristine they are with pitch, how much voice control that they have over those. It's very, very specific for that genre though, because it doesn't translate well to
Like pop or-
other types of music at all.
Yeah.
But it's always like, it's one of those things that when you hear a voice like that, it can just make you kind of just stop in your tracks, because it's just like how I'm not listening to a CD right now. I'm looking at them and like, you know, that's kind of where when I started doing musical theater, like I knew, like I was good back then and I knew with training, like I would be better, but like I was never in like that top, even back then when I was training every day and I got accepted into some places, it still was like very different. What I was really good with is I could do very animated voices.
Right.
So that's where I did really, really well, was like I had a lot of voice change features and I could do very, very animated voices while keeping that going.
Yeah.
But I didn't have like that really, really pure, you know, what they're gonna do for like the big ballad numbers and stuff like that. That wasn't what I had a forte in.
Is there so I read a lot of fiction books and there's truth in fiction books sometimes, and there was a lady who had roles like the ones that you said you were good at. So, and she was upset because she thought, she was like, I can do the ballads, I can do the main stuff, but they have me basically abusing my voice every night to make the light parts lighter and the dark parts darker, and she was upset about it. Is that like part of is that part of like the kind of hierarchy, kind of ladder in the musical theater?
Not necessarily. It really depends on what your voice is best for. Sometimes you do, like I was always cast in those roles because I was also good at acting in those roles, and they would often use me for like comedic relief, or like I would often be in roles where like I'd have to break out, like because I did like improv sports and stuff back then, or comedy sports and stuff.
Okay.
I was often used as like, if there needed to be a filler or if there was an issue or something where something had to be done, like they would let me go out and like improv something in between stuff like that. So I was oftentimes used for a lot of roles like that because I could do them.
Right.
And like a lot of people, it's like to be able to do it with your voice and be able to do it with acting. Not everybody has that, especially when you're younger, right? So it was like, there were times where I definitely found myself that I was getting cast in those roles, even though I was probably better qualified for another role. But it was also because there was nobody else that was qualified for the role that I was in.
Yeah, so
If that
like
makes sense.
you had a pocket that was needed.
Yeah, so like I remember when I did Beauty and the Beast, I got cast as LeFou, even though the guy that played Gaston was bad.
LeFou.
Yeah, the gosh,
Oh, yeah.
like because of like I made it fun and I got to do a bunch of fun stuff with it, but like the guy that played Gaston actually didn't even have as good of a voice as I. Like this is one of the few times like he didn't, but they had nobody that could play my role,
Yeah,
and he was
couldn't have done that.
close enough.
Yeah.
So they gave that role to him, and you know, like it was times like that where it would happen. But like other than that, I mean, like that's just kind of part of, you know, theater.
Theater, yeah.
Is, you know, you play the part and you're grateful when you get a part, because there's how many hundreds or thousands of people that try out for any part and don't even get into the chorus numbers. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, there's definitely some truth to that, is, you know, but you just keep building and
Just hope,
you know.
hope one
but
day.
but it's no different than any acting. It's no different than music, right? Like what we do. People get typecast into stuff that they do because they end up good at it, and then, you know, that's ends up being all that they do, unless they try to get out of it. So
You know what you could have done in the middle of that, in the middle of his thing that he was
just
about to do,
killed him and then took him over.
Just went, someday I'll get cast as the thing that I should be cast as. You know, and
Just
just
ruin
do
the show.
Yeah, just do the whole thing.
Never get a part ever again.
Yeah, you should have done that, because that would have been fun.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, anarchy.
I had to do a lot of fun stuff though. So there was like, again, I remember like as LeFou, like I came out, like I would have like flowers in my mouth. I'd go and give them to girls in the audience and stuff like that. I would like go like
that's fun.
sit with them and stuff, because like
I'm
I was
not that
the
guy.
character, so I got to do.
No, I'm not that
I got to
guy.
do that. So
I would
you know.
love to be the guy that sits in the studio like this and goes, wow, that is amazing. You know, I'm just like,
Yeah.
but like not, I don't want to be like,
not
out-
actually out there doing it.
I
Yeah.
can't even, it's like being in a cave like this big. to
That
me.
was my escape when I was younger. That was like because I mean my childhood was all screwed up, but like that was like my, like in those moments when I was on stage, I wasn't me anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was me being able to be a different character where all the bad things that were happening in my life didn't matter. Like that was it for me.
Yeah,
that was
I'm
my
this
escape.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm this guy today.
yeah, and that was that's why I leaned into it so much, even though like I was so stage. I had a lot of stage fright when I was younger, but like for whatever reason, especially like, it was like the worst that like I was doing in my life. The less amount of stage fright that I'd end up having until it just sort of, because again, it started becoming like, oh, well, in this, whatever. And for these 3 months, you know, like I don't have to worry about that. I get to come here at night. I don't have to go home.
Yeah.
And then like I get to put on these performances and people don't know any of that stuff about me.
Yeah.
That was it.
I feel that 100%. Like touring and like being in metal bands. Like off stage, I was this guy with these problems, with this stuff going on.
Yeah.
On stage, I'm a monster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm making noises like monsters make, and people are having a good time. You know? So it's the chance to be bigger than yourself. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people need that.
Yeah.
How did we get in this?
If you guys are still here, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Very, very impressive. Very amazing. I know that there's been a lot of requests for this, so I hope you guys did. Please, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow along with our journey. Check out our live stream Saturdays, noon Central Time. You can check out our brand new single, My Light, that's out now, Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. And we need a code.
Ooh, knife.
Knife.
Yeah.
Shower. It's like the old, remember the old,
from what's
Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah. I was thinking that movie with the guy who played the president's left hand.
The president's left hand.
You know, he had that face washing routine in the movie. Gosh.
You're talking about American Psycho?
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
I have no idea what you're talking about with president, but like
he just
American
played,
Psycho, because he
played Al Gore recently or something.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Dude, you have to see it. It's wild.
Huh.
Yeah.
Show me that. All right, guys. Nobody told you that they love you today. Please don't forget we love you. You're appreciated. Always welcome here in this channel, and you are enough. And last but certainly not least.
Anyway, no, I'm kidding. It was a great day to play.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.